Tourists, it's your boy Domination. This is Back at the Base. It's your other dudes. This is how we do. Takes baby man that is back. You know it is, know it is, know it is, know it is, know it is. Only place you only gonna get it, only place you ever gonna get it is right back at the base. And today's topic we're gonna talk about is real men rise up, fake men rise down. Real women rise up, fake women rise down. Right to word preacher up. And today's topic I want to talk about is I want to talk about your heritage, my heritage. I say to this, man, be proud for where you coming from. Your initiative or your initiative is your nationality, your history, your language, your food, your culture, your people. Be proud for what you are, even if you're not one of that, or you are, but you're still a part of it, even though when you feel. Because I want to make this video because a lot of people what to redefine of the person, of what they define of what means to be that color, what means to be what that person look like. Do that really matters? Because this whole thing, I've been hearing this. Let's go back to black. People want to argue that if you're not from the descendants and descendants of slave, then you're not African. That ain't necessarily true. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there are people out here, there are white Africans. There are white Africans and Asian Africans, Arab Africans, Latino Africans. Do that makes them they're not part of black? Do that means they're not Africans? Well, they part of it, but they trying to say they're not really a part of blacks. Come on, they are. Just as much we are part of them. But we don't want to accept that. We look at that, well, it start all confused what it means to be black. Do that should be matter? The civil rights movement started from the 60s. And I forgot the founding ever who started at the voting rights. The blacks have the right to vote. I know I voted last year and I have voted this year. I never vote anymore. Because I vote enough. The control, I know my ancestry. I know my control. I know my dollar. And the black community only speak for me. You gotta speak for you. I know we've been through a lot. Don't get me wrong. Black men been through a lot. I feel brothers struggle. Even if I'm not a part of it enough, but I feel like I am a part of it. And they're a part of me. I feel sisters are struggling. For what I don't get, how can we say we're brothers and sisters? But do that makes you think in our mind that they're brothers and sisters too? White people are brothers and sisters. Asian people are brothers and sisters. Middle East people are brothers and sisters. But we don't think like that. Other races don't think like that either. But people got to think like that. Other race got to think like that, because how can they say what it means to be that color? Just like what it means to be white. If you're not pale or red dish or pink, you're not white. But what gives them the right to say that? Oh, I get it, because every race has started over there in Europe. But a lot of people don't even know the term Europe come from. It comes from a Greek woman sitting on a Taurus bull. A lot of people don't know that, and she was a slave, just like blacks. But black and white, all white and black is, especially all white is nothing but creation of the name brand of that color. All black is a creation of a name brand of that color, black or white. It's a name brand of the color. It's like a box of crayons. Why you think they call all color? All race of people come from all colors, and I do believe this. But a lot of people don't think like that. Because if you're not one of that full attention, if you're half attention, but if you're not full attention, but you have potential with other colors, then you're not quote unquote pure. A lot of white supremacists do believe that, because what it means to be a Caucasian, what it means to be white. A lot of black supremacists believe this too. But if you're not that color, then you're not black and you're not white. But what makes blacks have the right to say what it means to be black and what's not? See, I don't like that. See, that right there is going to start a lot of confusion. Now, right there. But you know what? It all goes down to the Homo sapiens and the Neanderthals. A lot of people don't know this. It happened it happened 3 years ago. Three or 4 years ago. Or 5 years ago, 6 years ago. You can name it. Every modern people come from the modern monkeys, the modern chimpanzee, the modern gorilla, modern apes. They're apes. Why you think they made a movie called Planet of the Apes? And I'm not saying that blacks are monkeys. That's not what I'm saying. When they meant people are monkeys, what they meant is that monkeys basically is stop kidding around, stop fooling around. That's what they're basically saying. That people communicate in communication with animals and animals communicate with people. That's what I'm trying to get at. It had nothing to do that Hugh Hefner said it himself, and he said that people act like animals or nature. He said people act like animals, in which that's true. They treat people like dogs. They all treat raised people like dogs. They treat women like dogs. They treat dudes like dogs. So why you gonna label a person as a dog, tell them to go fetch or catch a fish or learn how to roll over and play dead? And there are people out there still doing that, treat people like dirty lower dogs. Some people are lower human beings. And I'm gonna say to this whole racism stuff is kind of bullshit to me. This whole thing about a lot of people don't even know the term slavery came from, and it come from the Slavic people. How many people know that? Do whites know this? Do Latinos know this? Do my brothers, black brothers, sisters know this? No, they don't know it. If they do, they should teach people like this at school. And where it started humanity from Africa. The Neanderthals were European and Homo sapiens are African. So come on. Come on. I hear this all the time from white people. And they said this. When they go at these white supremacists, they say they anti-racist, but what they really are is anti-white. Meaning that they hate white people. They're against whites. There's got to be some truth there. Because if you ask, there are white slavery. I did not believe white people were slaves. I always thought it was blacks. But then I come to find out we ain't the only ones. And then my ancestors slaved them, and their ancestors slaved my folks. So how is that plays a part of it? And they said that Asians slaved their people, and they've been slaved by blacks and whites. How does that play a part of this? There are free blacks slaves, just like free white slaves, free Asian slaves. Every race of people been put to shackles and chained and slaves, but nobody wants to talk about this. Excuse me. Nobody wants to talk about this. I don't hear white supremacists talk about that. Why is that? Why is that? I don't hear black supremacists talk about that. Why is that? These people are bullshit. Fuck these white supremacists and black supremacists. This white separation is black separation. What they're saying, if you don't look identical, those of full attention of that color, then you're not one of them. That's what they're saying to you. That's what they're saying. If you don't know the language, the food, the art, that's what they're saying. I don't agree with that. I feel like be proud for what you are. Even though you come from all these different parts of race of people. Guess what I am? Now, me, I'm African American, or you could say Jamaica, right? I always knew that all this time. I never thought, but I never knew that. But I knew I listened to reggae all the time. And I feel like, but not all Jamaicans speak about Rastafari, man. Not all Jamaicans smoke weed and drink. They are hardworking people like everybody else. They speak English. They speak a proper English. They get educated and better straight about their lives like everybody else. Don't believe what all Jamaicans do the same. They do different things like everybody else, just like whites do, just like any other race of people. Then I'll come to find out that I'm European. I know it's hard to believe, but look at my hands. Do I look like I'm black to you? Maybe I am. The only black about me is my hair. and the way I dress her clothes. But my mother told me that my grandmother, my grandmother was German. She Puerto Rican, and that's Latin America, and that's and Native American is Cherokee. My grandfather was Jamaica, and my grandfather was Polish, that's European, and also Persian, that's Iran, that's Middle East. That's part of European, Eastern Asian to Eastern Asian, Eastern European, and in the middle of the Far East and Middle East. It's like that, but it's part of being Aryan or India or whatever you want to call it. So I'm one of these things. But we need to talk about this. Not only as the black community, whites need to talk about this too, because there are a lot of whites who are not full white. A couple of them, but many of them are really not. Same thing. There's a lot of blacks who part full black, but many of them are not fully black. I told this one dude that if you're not dark or darker colored, you're not black. I'm telling you, it's true. I'm not trying to be funny. I will tell a white person, if you're not pink or reddish or pale, then you're not that color. But what's the difference doesn't make. If we part of those colors or not, we all from color. Everybody got a little black, a little white in them somewhere. Why you think people call people Oreo? Two black side, white on the middle. So what is the difference? I'm not saying we got to live that kumbaya, everybody got to get along, because it don't work like that. But we just have to respect each other, to understand each other. We have our agreements, we have our moments, that's just the way it is. But we got to respect other people's culture, just like they got to respect us. But you got to respect yourself, just like they got to respect themselves, and they got to respect everybody else. We got to respect everybody else. Because if there's come disrespect, we're going to get disrespected, they're going to get disrespected. It's not going to get us nowhere. This whole conversation about who are the rich and people, it doesn't even matter. Every race humanity starts from Africa, somewhere. Not just black community. White, Asian, and Middle East. A lot of that go on. Then Europe, then Asian, then Europe, and India, and Australia. From all the way to South America to North America. Look at the trace of your maps and you don't believe me. Look at all the stuff they say. There's different languages. There's 5 or 6 languages that people speak. There's French, there's Spanish, there's African, there's there's German, there's Greek, there's Russian. There's all people speak, even Asian language, Japanese, Chinese language, all these language. Arab, all these language. In Hebrew, all these language that there are 5 or 6, 8 languages in these other races. If people would know about that shit now, we wouldn't have this discussion. But what I said was, man, be proud for who you are, man. Know where you stand and where you go and where your heritage and where. Because I know I'm proud of who I am. I'm not identifying my black and not because my black is identified with me and I identify with it. And I come from these other parts as well. You don't have to choose. You choose what you're gonna choose for what you are and what you are gonna be choosing. Be proud for who you are. Always stay who you are, but be real who you are. Nothing else that I can say anymore. All right? Because I really don't like saying what my ethnicity is. I don't like it because I'm just a person, regardless what I look like. It's what's the person I am. And love yourself. Love your heritage. Be proud who you are. I don't care if you're European, black, anything else. Be proud of it. Because if you got something to be ashamed of, you're not proud for who you are. And be proud for what you are and how you are. And that's all I got to say about that, all right? All right, it's your boy Domination. This back in the basic. Chuck of the Deuces. How we do text, baby. Until next time, all right? All right. Peace and I'm out.